August 7th, 1888. A woman lies dead on a filthy tenement landing, stabbed 39 times. 39. In the breasts, throat, belly, lungs, heart, liver, spleen, stomach, and even her genitals. The frenzied overkill is horrifying, and it happens 3 weeks before the world ever hears the name Jack the Ripper. She was born Martha White on May 10, 1849, in the heart of Southwark. A working-class girl, the youngest of 5 or 6, the daughter of a warehouseman. Life was already hard, and it only got harder. By her late teens, she was drinking heavily. Christmas Day, 1869. She married Henry Tabram at Trinity Church, St. Mary, Newington. 2 little boys came quickly, Frederick in 1871, Charles in 1872. But the marriage exploded under Martha's alcoholism and violence when drunk. By 1875, Henry walked out, paying her maintenance until he discovered she was living with another man. Then the money stopped. For the next 12 years, she lived common law with carpenter Henry Turner, hawking trinkets and cheap needles on the streets to survive. They squatted wherever they could, Whitechapel, Southwark, wherever rent was cheapest. But by July 1888, even Turner had had enough. He left. Martha moved into Satchel's lodging house at 19 George Street, Spitalfields. Bank Holiday Monday, August 6th, 1888. The streets are heaving with drunk revellers. Martha and her friend Mary Ann Conley, known as Pearly Pole, are out all evening, pub crawling for soldiers with money. They meet 2 soldiers on Whitechapel Road, a corporal and a private, later found to be soldiers in the Coldstream Guards. They drink at the 2 brewers, then move to the White Swan. At 11:45 p.m., the women split up with their soldiers. Pearly Pole takes the corporal into Angel Alley. Martha takes the private to the dark, narrow George Yard, now called Gunthorpe Street. That was the last time anyone saw Martha Tabram alive. Sometime between 2 and 3:30 a.m., on the first floor landing of the George Yard buildings, someone stabbed her 39 times in an absolute frenzy. Around 2 a.m., P.C. Thomas Barrett sees a young grenadier soldier loitering at the entrance to George Yard and shoos him off. At 3:30 a.m., cab driver Albert Crow walks past the landing, sees a body, but ignores it, thinking it's just another drunk sleeping off their alcohol. At 4:50 a.m., dock worker John Reeves finds her in a lake of blood and runs for the police. The police summon Dr. Timothy Killeen from his home at 68 Brick Lane to examine the body. He estimates the time of death 2-3 hours earlier. Dr. Killeen later performed a post-mortem and documented each wound of the attack in exquisite detail. Dr. Killeen's exact words at the later inquest: 38 wounds from an ordinary pocket knife, 1 final, deeper thrust straight through the sternum into the heart, made by a long, strong dagger or bayonet. The sexual wounds were deliberate and vicious. Scotland Yard was convinced the killer was the soldier Martha went off with. They dragged Pearly Pole, who'd gone missing for days, to the Tower of London Barracks, then to Wellington Barracks. She identified several men. Every single one had an ironclad alibi. No one was ever charged. Martha Tabram was buried in a pauper's grave at the City of London Cemetery, Manor Park, on August 14, 1888. Today, a small modern plaque marks the spot. She was 39 years old, and here is why Martha Tabram still matters in 2025. She is the only non-canonical victim that serious researchers are genuinely split over. Many say yes, she was the Ripper's first or second kill due to the overkill, the sexual targeting, the timing, the location. Even Scotland Yard in 1888 treated her murder as connected, until the throat-cutting and mutilations began, with Mary Ann Nichols. Others say no, there were two weapons. The throat wasn't deeply slashed, there was no additional abdominal mutilation, and the body was left as it was, on a landing, instead of being posed as the later Ripper victims were. But the debate rages on because the savagery feels personal, almost experimental. Martha Tabram wasn't a nameless unfortunate. She was a mother of two boys who probably never knew what happened to her. She was a street hawker who once had a home and a husband. She was stabbed 39 times just for saying no, or for not having the money the soldier wanted. And 3 weeks later, the killer learned he preferred a bigger knife and to cut throats first.